वैष्णव जन तो तेरे कहिए जे, पीड़ पराए जाने रे। वैष्णव जन तो
As I was growing up in school reading NCERT books, I remember on the flyleaf of each book there was this message or quotation from Mahatma Gandhi. He said that if you're in doubt at any moment in your life, not sure of which path to take, what decision to take, you should just close your eyes and imagine the face of the most poor and destitute person you've ever met. And then try to imagine how your next action or decision would affect his or her life. Then you would know that you're on the path to truth and righteousness. People say that as you grow up, you become more cynical, more used to high words, advice, preachy sentiments. But I don't think that's true, because people like the Mahatma have always been there in the course of human history. He is one of those giants in the human race who have shown us repeatedly that the power of determination, courage, honesty, and truth can overcome any barrier, any resistance, because a person with a clean conscience is someone who does not need to fear any threats, because he or she isn't working for his own selfish interests, they're working for the good of mankind. When Mahatma Gandhi decided to move out of Gujarat and study law in England, he faced a lot of opposition. He had to do it in spite of the opposition, rather fierce opposition from his own community members. Maybe that is the point when he started showing the power of his resolve and determination. And after a comfortable life as a student of law in London, he moved to the shores of another continent, of Africa, and he arrived in this city of Durban as a lawyer, as a barrister. And when he began to practice, there was something inside him that naturally rebelled against all the injustice that he saw around him. Indoctrinated to some extent and convinced of the goodness of imperialist rule, of the white man's civilization, he slowly began to change his views through the turmoil of civil resistance that he himself raked up when he was faced with the crude and ugly face of oppression against different races by some who thought that they were superior to others. And by the time he left South Africa, he was a transformed man. And the sign of greatness is perhaps is that not only are you good yourself, but you have the ability to inspire goodness in others. And he had already gathered a huge crowd of followers dedicated to his cause, listening to his every word, and his faithful lieutenants. The Indian expatriate community in South Africa, and even beyond that, people who supported him, who inspired him, we are eternally grateful to all those people who contributed to the growth and maturity of the Mahatma, who went on to become the father of the Indian nation. And if you're talking about the nation, perhaps it's something as an intangible concept that reaches beyond physical land boundaries, territorial boundaries. And then we see that he went on to inspire so many other generations of civil rights activists through his policy of nonviolence and adoption of truth and truth alone as the only instrument to fight evil and injustice.
मेरे कलेजे पीड़ पर आए जाने रे पर दुख के उपकार करे तो है मन अभिमानना आने रे वैष्णव जन तो तेरे कहे सकल लोक सहोने वंदे निंदा न करे केड़ी रे वाच का चमन निश्चल राखे धन धन जननी तेरी रे वैष्णव जन तो तेरे कहे समदृष्टि ने तृष्णा त्यागी तृष्णा त्यागी समदृष्टि ने तृष्णा
150 years later, Mahatma Gandhi's and Kasturba's legacies of non-violence, of peace, of values, still continues to be relevant. It all started in South Africa and particularly here at the Phoenix settlement. And it started around 1904 when Gandhiji decided that he was going to live according to his philosophy of life, which had changed tremendously over the years from the time he came to South Africa. One of the reasons for this change was that he had begun to read a number of philosophers. He had read a number of scriptures of different religions and was greatly influenced by these philosophies and these writings of the scriptures, and more especially the Bhagavad Gita. In the chapters in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asks Krishna Bhagavan about the attributes of a good person. And these attributes are described in Gandhiji's favorite bhajan, Vaishnava Janato. He talks about the most important things that are so relevant for humankind today, both in this bhajan, in his philosophy, and relating it to the Bhagavad Gita, as well as to the Quran and the Bible. So, one of the chief messages that Gandhiji left was that non-violence is not just about absence of violence, but it is about love. That you should love humanity, you should love everything that is in the universe. And this is the message that is carried in this hymn, the Vaishnava Janato. It says there that you understand the pain of other people, and by understanding the pain of other people, you begin to understand what humanity is all about, what people are all about. And instead of looking just at your own selfish motivations and so on, you begin to look at humanity as a whole. And you begin to look at what is good for humanity. One of the chief aspects, again, which are contained in this beautiful bhajan, is that you become humble. You begin to understand that anger, that envy, that looking at other people with disgust is not what makes you a good human being. A good human being is one who loves others, who realizes their pain and who does something about it, who helps other people. Service was very important to Gandhiji, and that is what he encouraged on Phoenix Settlement. Not just service to humanity, but service to the environment and to animals and birds and all life as a whole. This is what Gandhiji and Kasturba experimented with at Phoenix Settlement. And today, when we look at the degradation of our environment, we look at wars, we look at the hatred and anger that is a huge problem in the world, we begin to think how important this message of Gandhiji's is. And it is repeated in this bhajan, which is Vaishnava Janato, and that's why he enjoyed this bhajan very much, and he repeated it every day in his life. Thank you.